convince akili wananchi wako wafurahie, waseme basi sasa serikali sasa Ruto ndio huyo sasa ameanza kufanya kazi. Sasa huyu Ruto sasa tumchague tena atatusaidia. Lakini tukimpea second term ama wampea second term wataishi kulia naye sasa naye atakuwa sasa naye anaenda. Atakuwa tena anahitaji kura yao tena. Sasa mimi ningependa sana mwananchi penye hako aerevuke. Na tusiseme eti tuchague vile. Unajua kuna wengine wanasemanga eti viongozi vijana. Hata kuna wale viongozi vijana wengine bado pia wao ndio wanatunyonya akili. Ukiangalia sasa, ukiangalia mtu kama Osoro, ukiangalia mtu kama Silvanus Osoro, ukiangalia mtu kama Kimani Ichung'wah, hao ni watu vijana. Kwa nini wanasaidia wamesaidia hii nchi? Kama mtu kama Osoro ni psychophant wa Ruto, akiamka asubuhi ni kupigia Ruto makofi na kuinama. Kama ukiongea kwa Ruto vibaya, yeye ni kama umbwa yake, yeye ndiye anabweka kwa ajili ya Ruto. Sasa tuseme eti viongozi vijana, kuna viongozi vijana wengine wanatulete down na wametuangusha sana hii nchi. Kitu tu mzuri yenye nimesikia hapo yenye nimefurahia ni hii vuguvugu la fagia wote. Fagia wote kuanzia MCA mpaka kwa president. Watu wote hao tuwafagie na tuwasahau waende home. Na wasiwahi simama tena nchi. Tuwe ni generation nyingine mpya ya uongozi Kenya hii kufikia kwa judiciary. Hiyo ndio itatusaidia. Hiyo.
Guys, hapo chini kwa comment section tunataka pia kuona maoni zenu. Brian Kipro, before kutufikia Gona kwa hapa alikuwa ameingia before Brian, alafu Huni ataingia kutoka hapo. Maoni yenu wa Kenya tunayazingatia, na jambo ambalo muhimu zaidi ama ambalo tunaulizana, muko tayari kuungana na mimi? Mimi nimejitolea. Mimi naitwa Dennis Dawak. Nimejitolea kutengeneza hili vuguvugu la kufagia wote. Na mimi niko tayari kuzunguka hii Kenya yote kuhakikisha kwamba naungana na wewe ukinikaribisha kwako. Tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumesukuma hili jambo pamoja, mimi na wewe na huyo Mkenya mwingine. Tunawaambia kufagia wote, kuondoa mashida, tunafagia wote. Guys, hii kitu tunastahili tueleze hawa watu wetu, tueleze kitu ambao tunastahili kufanya ni kuhakikisha tunafagia kuanzia mjumbe yule wa county, yule mbunge, yule mwakilishi wa kina mama, yule gavana, yule seneta. Alafu tuingie pale kwa serikali kuu, tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumepeleka nyumbani huyo president, cabinet yake, PS wake, na hao watu wenye wanafanyanga kazi kwa ministries wote wapelekwe nyumbani. Kwanza huko ndani kuna hao watu wenye wanafanyanga kazi huko ndani. Tuhakikishe ya kwamba pia wao tunahamasisha wa Kenya wawapeleke nyumbani. Kutoka hapo tutaingia kwa NIS, tutaingia kwa polisi. Wakenya wenzetu, tuingie kila sekta, tuhakikishe ya kwamba kila mtu tunafagia na hii nchi itabadilika. Mimi nataka kuambia si ati Kenya ingekuwa imebadilika, lakini imekuwa ikikuwa vile juu uongozi mbaya. Kenya hakuna ukabila. Ukabila ni wanasiasa wanazungumzanga huku chini, mimi nipe change, we nipe change, twende kazi, mandazi mbili, we ni bebe nifikishe pale. Hiyo ndo lugha ya Mkenya wa kawaida kule chini. Hananga ati we Mjaluo wewe nini, hakunanga vitu kama hizo. Sasa mimi nataka niwaulize ndugu zangu, tutakubali lini kila saa tuanze kurudishwa miaka ya 90s na hawa wanasiasa wale tu? Hii mchezo si hawa ndo wamecheza tangu hii nchi pate uhuru, ni wale tu kabisa. Mimi nakuuliza wewe Mkenya, jiulize ni nini itafanya wewe Mkenya uko kila mahali ukuwe sawa na Mkenya yote. Usikuwe ati wewe you are disadvantaged because you come from a certain region ama from a certain corner of this country. Sasa inasemekana wewe unanyimwa haki zako ama unakosa kukua na equal opportunity na yule kijana ako Kiambu, yule mwenye ako Kisumu, yule mwenye ako Lokichogio. Sababu ni gani? Ni kuwa na viongozi ambao hawana plan, hawana agenda ya kuunganisha nchi na hawana akili ya kujua ni nini Wakenya wanahitaji kufikia. Tuko zaidi ya miaka sasa 60 tangu tupate uhuru. Watu wanabadilisha rangi wakati wa siasa. Hii round hii unakuja na yellow, next unakuja na green, hiyo nyingine utakuja na red, lakini sura ni zile. Mnapangana ati nyinyi hii round ndo mtakuwa opposition, hii wakati sisi ndo tutakuwa tunakula government. Guys, hapo ndo sasa tunaweka kikomo. Hii mabadiliko ya Kenya sasa lazima tuondoe akisikia ameachwa nje. Gone, shika mic, twende kazi. Keep tapping.
Yes, brother. I'm gone from Kisumu, and I wholly support the movement, and we really need to do it in a very wise way. The politician.
Yes, brother.
They are fully taking our future. They are fully taking our future, and we need to rise up and do what we can. Look at the education system. They don't focus for the future. If you look at what they discuss in the parliament, it's just bullshit. If you compare their parliament and even Chinese parliament, the Chinese are really thinking for their future. I've been to China. In Kenya, we have a very big disaster. We have a very big disaster that we have to rise up. If you look at the education system, guys, we take our children to school to study engineering. They are contractors up here. But if you go to the contracts that they give, you find the Chinese doing them. We have engineers. The roads are being done by Chinese. Most of the contracts that are being given by them, they are given to the Chinese. Then why do we take our children to school? If you look at our minerals, they don't talk about it anymore. Go to Masai Mara, full of minerals. Nobody talks about them, but they are being mined. The bigger problem is that even the political system and the policies they use are the colonial policies. So if you get a chance to get into that position, we need to change the colonial policies. That even if we elect a dog in that seat, he will work according to the policies put in place. All these people, they are from 1960s. They are working under colonial policies. That's why Africa can never go far. The minerals, nobody's mining them. Why can we teach ourselves? Imagine we have an education system that these politicians, they buy even shoes worth millions, belts worth millions. These things are just being made by the youths in the other countries. In Kenya, if you call somebody a mechanic, he can only service a vehicle, change oil and whatever. While the other side, a mechanic can even process an engine and tell you now this is an engine, it can work. No wonder if you go to the docking harbor of Mombasa, the cargo that is coming in is full of already processed goods, right from vehicles, materials, and everything. But the ones that are going out are just going out with raw materials from Africa. They don't think of this in the parliament. We need a lot. We need to change the policy, and we need to start a strong movement over this. And we also need some links even in the military, because I know there are some routes of getting into that government deal. We need the links in the military where we can get connection and know more 1, 2, 3 deep in the state. Thank you.
Fagia wote, fagia wote, fagia wote, fagia wote, fagia wote. Hashtag fagia wote, and we believe hii Kenya itabadilika na kusema hawa wote wafisadi, hawa wote wenye kila siku wanatuuzia sera za ukabila, wanajaribu kutuonyesha kona ile kona hii ni mbaya kuliko hii, watu wanajinufaisha wenyewe, watu ambao wametajirika kuliko Kenya. Mimi nataka tuelewane, wote lazima waende. Tukubaliane, lazima tufagie kila kitu hii inchi ili iweze kuenda mbele. Wewe nakuuliza popote ulipo wewe Mkenya, utakubali kuungana na vijana ambao wanaamini hii inchi lazima hawa wanasiasa wote waondoke ili hii inchi ibadilike? Are you ready? Wewe uko tayari? Wewe uko tayari kuhakikisha ya kwamba unaungana na vijana wenye wanaamini hii nchi lazima wanasiasa wenye waliko saa hii waondoke ili Kenya isonge mbele? Hiyo ndo swali yenye mimi nakuuliza, na huu wakati na show zingine zenye mimi ninaendeleza kufanya na pia platform zingine, mimi nataka kutuma wewe kama agent wa hili vuguvugu. Mimi nataka kukutuma, ukitokea pale uliza wenzako, wao wanaamini shida ya Kenya iko wapi. Sisi tumekaa hivi, tumeona shida ya Kenya ni hawa wanasiasa. Kenya si mbaya, Kenya ni nchi nzuri na ni mahali kila mtu anajivunia, lakini shida sisi tunaona hapa ni hawa wanasiasa. Collins, mic back to you, alafu turudi kwa Jenga.
Thank you very much. So me nili discuss on the Public Service Commission and I gave my views, at least ikue an independent body badala ya kila wakati it's affected by the election cycle and the interest of politicians who come just to put their people in place, either to loot or pay back the favors which they were offered during and after campaigns and getting the seat. That was one way of thinking. Gona amekuja na a very interesting point of view. Na actually unaambiwa kutembea kwingi ndio kuona mengi. Sasa he has seen some bit of China and seen how it works. I remember I gave that example wakati ya nikiongea of education, where a grade 6 kid in Taiwan can put down an engine and mount it back at the age of, that is the age of 11, between 11 and 13 years of age. Now I asked the people who are listening that day, how can that kid compete with a Kenyan kid at the global or international stage and expect to be competitive enough to beat this kid in Taiwan when it comes to maybe engineering or any other field? Let me give you another very interesting example. South Korea, if I'm not wrong, ni South Korea. Kwa Kim ni wa North ama ni South? Anyone can tell me hapo chini. Wakati ya COVID, that is when Bitcoin was gaining traction. Do you know the kids of South Korea were trained how to hack Bitcoin and mine it so that they can fight that front na America? If people, I know some people here know of that. Ulikuwa ukipata alieka almost 200 kids in a room and they were taught computer science the whole time when COVID was there, and they started mining Bitcoin. And I remember there was a very big clash at that time kwa sababu nilikuwa interested na nini, what do you call it, crypto. So look at however much it was against, ilikuwa a battle of which maybe mtu atasema rationally it's illegal, but look at this kid, in this dimension. These kids have been equipped very young to start at a very tender age with a skill that is in the competitive world, so they are very well equipped and they can fend for themselves. I got to interact with one guy from Netherlands, and he told me that the advantage that these people have, even mwenye akinipatia story yake, is that they tend to start at a young age. Alianza working at the age of 13. It is legal in Netherlands to work from that age. So by the time he was 18, alikuwa manager wa supermarket. That gave him the confidence to start up his own to have a startup, and now he's in the UAE, now gaining traction as a marketer. Lakini sisi huku tunapatiwa a lot of knowledge when it comes to education, but when starting out, we start out very late in life. Niambie, we are starting at 18 yet you are competing with someone who has already at the age of 18 has 5 years experience. So we should really check and reevaluate on our policies be it business, economics, education, everything. We need to review everything because it is not working for us. Because when it comes to information, sahi ukitaka kusoma anything, it is just by the touch of a click of a button. Kama unataka kusoma engineering, YouTube iko. So this too much knowledge, I don't know, unanifunza biology, I'm interested in engineering. Let's review this. We don't have to give kids so much get them worked up, yet they can focus on whatever they want or see fit for them, and it will save to a lot of time and bring progress when it comes to education in one way or another. Another controversial thing I've talked about here is the docket of sports. Do you know that is a whole economy? And because mimi ndio I've worked in that sector here in the UAE. I know how it works. Actually, if we can enhance our sports sector, people will see the need ya kwenda ku watch game because they are good stadiums. So wherever I'm going to sit comfortably, watch a game. Good remuneration to our sports men and women and the footballers, everyone in that sector. Kama anahitaji nyumba, let the government provide so that akienda kwa pitch, that person delivers. But kila wakati kufrustrate, sijui FKF imekataa ku release pesa, Nick Mwendo anaenda kuaward the first team 3 million, na yet the expenditure of that team the whole season is more than 100 million. It doesn't add up. It totally doesn't add up. So we need to review everything, literally everything. Look at agriculture. Story of carbon credits. To live for carbon credits in the UAE. Now they want something in return. They are taking up the Galana Gulalo. Yet we have too much of agricultural extension officers and watu wamefanya agriculture. Wakiweza patiwa hiyo shamba, mavuno yenye tutapata hata ni zaidi. But we are always frustrated by the systems that are in place. Can we enhance these systems to work on our favor? Kwa sababu sasa the trick that Ruto is using, anasema anti we will be exporting food directly to the UAE, but in real sense it is the UAE which will be farming that land and taking all the produce from that farm to come here. So please Kenyans, we need to wake up. Mimi kama hawa watakuwa this click yenye imewekwa hapa picha na niekoe kitu inaitwa chura, nitachagua chura because I'm tired of this click of since 19 whatever, and they are scared because they know of this. They must protect their interest. They must protect their illegal things they have done and the unethical and whatever things they have done to Kenyans. They know that the historical injustices that have been served to Kenyans since 1963, they will be brought into book. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
Thank you. Jega, back to you.
Ningependa kucomment hapo kuhusu mambo ya agriculture. The current government inatupigia kelele kila siku wakisema ya kwamba fertilizer ilikuwa 7,000 and that now imereduce mpaka 2,500. Hao watu wanacheza na wale watu labda, and maybe this is why walisema tuachane na mambo ya history. They well knew that mtu asipojua anatoka wapi hataweza kujua anaenda wapi. Swali la kwanza kuhusu huo msemo wao ni ya kwamba hii fertilizer ya 7,000 bado iko ama ukienda dukani hautaipata. Ningependa wananchi washike kabisa ya kwamba hii serikali inafanya kazi na propaganda tupu. Hii fertilizer ya 7,000 ama 6,000 ni fertilizer ambayo tumekuwa tukiinunua kwa duka kutoka zamani, na hata saa hii iko. So hii ni bidhaa tofauti kabisa na ile policy iliyoletwa na Uhuru Kenyatta ya kusema wananchi wasaidiwe. It was the same fertilizer, ilikuwa serikali ikinunua inaondoa hizi costi zote za transport mpaka ifike mahali wananchi watachukua, na ndio maana wakaondoa hizo pesa zingine zote, ibaki ile wananchi wangeweza kulipa. It is the same fertilizer ambayo ilikuwa, sisi ni wakulima na tulikuwa tunajua hivyo. Now hii ya 2,500 kama wanataka tuwaamini ya kwamba wametusaidia, inaweza kupatikana mahali pengine isipokuwa kwa hizo store za serikali. Na kwa nini hii ya 7,000 inaendelea kuwa madukani ili hali kuna hiyo ya 2,500? Hiyo ni propaganda. Serikali inajipigia debe na kitu ambacho haijasaidia watu. Meantime, kuna fertilizer wakalete fake, wakalete sijui mavi ya kondoo, sijui mavi ya ngamia, sijui mchanga ya kule Kaliandus na mahali kwingine kama huo. So mimi nataka kurudi pale, na mimi nataka kusikiliza watu kabisa ya kwamba tayari tumejua shida yetu. Kuna msemo unaosema that sin is not missing a point, and sin is not a measurement of how bad we are, but how good we are not. Hiyo ndio kitu inaitwa sin. Tumejua shida yetu ni hawa viongozi ambao tumerecycle kutoka 1963. Let me give you an example. No matter what happens, when Mzee Jomo Kenyatta died, Uhuru was only 15 years. Alitamba na hiyo ground baba yake aliweka. Kama aliweka vizuri ama aliweka vibaya kitaifa, ukweli ni kwamba Wakenya si mali ya familia ya Kenyatta, and I have no apology to make. Yeye amekuja akapima, akapata mwanya kwa akili za Wakenya, wakamchagua 10 years. Amelete kadabra zake, amevuta mkono wake, akalete huyu Kasongo wa sasa, akasema yangu 10 ya huyu 10. Sisi tukiwa tumepumbazwa kimawazo, tulilete tena Kasongo. Uhuru amekaa kando na mali yote ya Wakenya ambaye alichukua, na mambo yote ya baba yao, na yote wako nao. Hawawezi kulala njaa hata kama Wakenya wengine wanalala njaa. There is this other guy kutoka kwa hii screen hapa. Kuna huyu Agwabo, huyu baba yake Odinga mzee walikuwa na Kenyatta tangu tupewe uhuru. Angalia huyu mtoto amekwamia hiyo keki ya nchi mpaka wa leo. Sijui ni watu wangapi wanakula ugali as a result of yeye kuwa kiongozi. None. Angalia huyu mwingine hapa, mambo ya Japani na nini na ubarozi, na huyu ako hapa. Saa hii yeye alikuja na kachama kamoja tu na akakuja sasa ni speaker wa National Assembly. Angalia huyu mwingine amejificha hapa, alikuwa dio hapa Moro. Hawa watu wote hakuna mtu ako na Kenyans at heart. Na mimi mliposema ya kwamba tufagie wote, even the heading itself, it's enough to tell every Kenyan of goodwill that we no longer need these people. God willing, tuwe na hilo vuguvugu na tuelimishane. Hatutaki kusema tunapigia chama gani debe ama gani ama gani. It's not about any political party. It's not about tribal affiliation. It's not about the class ama the status. Uwe na kabiashara yako kidogo, hiyo ni yako. That is God given. Pambana na hiyo. Lakini inchi ni yetu zote. So the problem is, tukiweka hawa watu hapa na wanakuja na sheria ya kwamba tulipe kodi. Like for example now, huyu Kasongo amesema zote tunaweka kodi zetu na mapato ya kitaifa tunamwaga kwa kikapu kimoja kinaitwa e-citizen. Wakati wa angeenda kwa cereal board aitishe pesa huko, aende kwa Minister of Water aitishe huko. Sasa ingejulikana ni institution gani ya serikali inafilisika. Huyu amekuja na policy, pesa zote zinamwagwa kikapu kimoja. So akienda kuchota trilioni 1 ama bilioni ngapi, haitajulikana kama ni ya Kenya Power ama ni ya SHA ama ni ya NHIF ama ni ya wapi ama ni ya walimu ama ni ya hospitali. Akichukua watu wote wanalemazwa. So hii system yote, hata wale wanasema mining, hizo pesa zote zinalipwa serikali kutoka kwa hizo mining, zinamwagika kwa kikapu kinaitwa e-Citizen. Pesa zote za Kenya Refinery ni hapo, za pipeline ni hapo, za stima ni hapo, hata za kuzaliwa ni hapo, hata za kufa ni hapo, hata kitambulisho ni hapo. So hawa watu msemo ueletu, hata sijui mjadala huu unaendelea aje. Hii heading imejulikana na iko wazi, fagia wote. So we should be telling our people, it's not about who to replace who. It's about kufagia wale waliokuwa. Hayo mengine tutaongea baadaye, because the back stops with these guys ambao wako saa hii. Sasa unaona vile wanazunguka, unaenda unaleta huyu, unavuta huyu, unaleta huyu, unapeleka kwa maji, unapeleka kwa service board sijui gani, unapeleka ubalozi gani, hata mahali pengine hatuna uhusiano, unapeleka hata balozi mwingine Afghanistan. Hatuna uhusiano na Afghanistan, unapeleka balozi mwingine sijui juu ya miti, sijui ni balozi wa juu ya KICC. All these shenanigans should be done away with. Wewe ndugu yangu, endelea na hili vuguvugu la fagia wote. We want to clear these people. Na mahali mtu atakuwa aongee. We want to have fresh mind, fresh people, fresh ideas for our future generation. As at now, sisi tuachie watoto wetu legacy. Kuambia, it is during I was there in 1990s wakati Matiba walisema tulete multi-party, na watu wakasema haiwezekani. Somebody like Kibaki akasema kutoa KANU ni kama kukata mugumo na wembe. It is the same Kibaki who said that, ambaye ali benefit baada ya sisi kuangusha huo mugumo na wembe. It is possible, we can do. It is possible, we can. Together we can. Hii mambo ya kusema tubadilishe hapa, hizi sockets zinakaa kama za keyboard. Unangoa governor hapa, unampeleka sasa sijui ministry ya nini. Kama mtu alikuwa mwizi pale, anawezaje kwenda kutokuwa mwizi pale? Na imagine hata mkilete huyu mtu ambaye ni mnaona kama ni msafi, akiingia pale anakuwa mateka wa hawa. Usiku anaenda anafanya poaching, anawalete kwa kikapu, na wewe haukuwaita. Waangalia, tulichagua watu na independent. Utangazwa tu ushindi wa Kenya Kwanza, hawa wote independent wakanunuliwa. So wananchi wanabaki pale. This is why nimesupport hii. Actually mimi sipendaji sana kuongea kwa hizi vitu, lakini hii it caught my attention ya kwamba fagia, it has been my dream. Itafanyikaje tuje tufagie hii kila kitu? Sababu kama nyumba iko na panya na umejaribu kupea dawa, unajaribu unabomoa hiyo nyumba, unajenga ingine hapo. In fact, kunguni, chawa, viroboto zikiwa pale, fagia hiyo nyumba yote. Let Kenya be clean. Hata hii mambo ya kusema iko na miaka 60 ya uhuru, hatujapata uhuru. Wacha tupate uhuru when the right time comes. Only that we need to do it in an amicable manner, na tuwe na watu ambao watu ni sober, na tu maintain peace, na tusiambia hawa watu ni nini inaendelea. Wacha watengeneze ABC. Tuwaonyeshe tu tuko sawa nini, nyinyi endeleeni tu, ibieni sisi kwa sasa. Iba tu mtego yetu ifike. Siku ya uchaguzi tuende tufagie kila kitu. In fact, Kenya iko na watu weredi sana. I miss Mr. Dinda ambaye alikuwa siku moja amejaribu kusema hii kitu. I think policy ya Dinda ndio ilikuwa. Alisema mfagie hata hiyo kansula yenu, MCA, fagieni mweke watu wapya. Sasa hii watu wanatuzunguka, wanatupiga biashara, and this is why hawana ile conscious. Watu wanakufa kwa maraini ya hospitali, mnaambiwa SHA, sijui shifu, sijui taifa what, hiyo yote ni upuzi.
Jenga. Unajua Kenya, ushaisikia bunge ya Kenya, hata kuna kitu Gona ama amefanya hapa, ameandika hapa, amefanya nifikirie. Kenya, unajua government yenye tuko nayo inakaa wachungaji. Wachungaji wakitaka kanisa zao zikuwe na washirika wengi, huwa wanahubiri mahubiri ya kuonyesha washirika wenye watatajirika.
Yeah, exactly. Sasa wanafanya na wanasema kuja vile ilivyo. In fact wanasema ingia uwe mmoja wa kondoo.
Hata inakwambianga hata kama wewe ni mlevi kuja. Hivyo ndo wahubiri wa siku hizi, bora tu wanakuonyesha utatajirika. Unaona wamama kila Jumapili wanaenda pale wanaambiwa vile watatajirika.
Yes, kikapu inawekwa pale.
Hawana tofauti.
Kila uwe mmoja wa kondoo. After becoming kondoo unakuwa nyama, sio?
Ndio hiyo. Na si hapa ndio hiyo, hapa Kenya wanasiasa si ndio hiyo wanahubiri pesa allocation, pesa hawezi zungumza kitu kingine hata hiyo.
Angalia hizi vitu tunaita CDF hapa.
It's true gone.
Mtu anazungumza hapa na panga wa mama raia anawapea mafuta ya shilingi 50 na kaunga ile ya mia. Wanaanza kumuimbia ati mbunge wetu amekuja, mheshimiwa. Imekuaje mtu sasa umeajiri mtu kazi
umepotea. Mimi nawauliza Kenya, ukisikiza Gona ni wewe umekama up na hii point, you can unmute at least to address. Kenya yani kila siasa ni ya pesa.
Yes, mister. If you go to Kenyan parliament.
Few minutes after kusema hivyo nimeangalia hata chenye Ruto jana alikuwa anasema tu ni allocation nitafanya. Yani hana tofauti na wachungaji. He preach money.
Only that even in parliament right to the MPs if those terms doesn't appear in the discussion and proceedings they are always sleeping, they are wanna sneeze but the moment they hear the term allocation funds sijui CDF sijui nini they are all awake. These people are really conning us, they are stealing us. We need to change a lot. Mtu ameguza hapo kwa sports. In the whole of Kenya, mamen wanaendanga tu kwa hall just to watch the kind of Arsenal, Man City, which is good, yes. But what key role do we need to play? We need to build up education system. There are football schools in China, West Tuko, ama USA. They have football school whereby a child at certain small age they just go to the football school. Akifika age ingine they are mature enough to become very very prominent footballers.
Yes,
academies. In fact, the government need to build football academies everywhere. Then they have innovative education system, ile innovative that makes our people to be innovative. Don't you feel sad even that the cup you are using in your own house is made from China? You duvet, look at that duvet on top of it.
Umeenda mbali.
Toothpick. We don't have even a toothpick factory in Kenya. But if they are really cutting the forest, sijui timber zinapelekwa wapi. To them it's just talk about, they are ever on podium politics. Now what is the solution now that we have known? What key connection do we have to go about it? We need to form a movement, a strong movement to bring in revolution in Kenya. That is the key thing. We also be on the podium as they move, the youth movement. We really need to change a lot. If you go to the sector of minerals, that's what I'm still speaking about. It is very sad that the universities are full of Kenyans learning engineering, learning to be contractors, learning to be I don't know what.
Ako kweli ama amepotea?
Gone is gone.
Gone is gone.
Even to the side of licensing of even the businesses. My friend, if you go to Huduma Center to look for a business license or any other license, you and the Chinese or any other body from any other country, the guy will even take one day, then kitu imepitisha hivi. But you as a Kenyan, utazungushwa hivi just for a business license, while somebody comes from somewhere then takes that business license even in 2 days. There are a lot that embedded in Kenyans that we need. Look at what Burkina Faso is doing. Is breaking the chains that were placed in that country. Look at, after this, just Google what Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore is doing in Ghana, in Burkina Faso, and other African states are doing it. You know, all these people are just puppets. They are working under colonial policies. And that's why even the election, we go and queue in the line, but the installment of that president is being done by those white people who can serve their only interest. If you don't serve their interest, then you will be kicked out. Look at what happened to Magufuli. And we keep on raising the puppets, right from MPMCA. We just raise puppets so that when they reach the top there, they only serve the West. So that even when people are dying in Africa, it is not their bother. When you are dying on the roads, it is not their bother. So long as they are serving those people. What happened to petroleum in Turkana? What happened to petroleum in Turkana? The oil was detected and was there, but unajua tu mambo yao ya kisiasa imepeleka hivi, it is left. So the key thing now is, what do we need to put in place? What do we have as a weapon to get in there? After discussing this, what do we need to do to get to there? That is the solution. Thank you.
Mr. Gon, you seem to be saying the populace are the problem. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been listening to you, and it seems, okay, you may have pointed a few fingers to the leaders, to everybody else, but from whatever you've been saying, I am getting that idea that the populace is the problem.
Yeah.
So if the populace is the problem, if the populace is the problem, then who is going to help?
The people who are going to help us in this, we need to have connection in the military. There are also people, I have my brother who is in the military, they are also seeing these things. We need people even from the military to take the government. After that, we need a strong movement to enlighten people from every corner. Then we have one party. Yes.
My brother, you know, this Kenya, what we need is not the military or what. What we just need this. We just need good leadership, people who have a vision, people. You know, our problem is this. About tribalism, it's not about even corruption. We elect people who are clueless. We elect people who don't know what they're doing. You know, we elect jokers. That is our big problem. You understand? So we need to be serious with what we are doing. You know, we need to have a efficient government that knows what it's doing. You know, government that understands its people. You know, problem. You know, Dawak, say America, hii nchi kubwa inaitwa America. Leo Trump amesign executive order. They even withdrawing from WHO. Wameona WHO hata iwasaidii. Wanataka kufight na hizi mambo ya afya na nini na watu kunonanona nini. So we need to know what we want as a country and as a people. You know, we cannot be electing a bunch of jokers. The problem of us is we don't have leaders. We have politicians. You know, someone like Ruto, he has been, you know, saying, I will do, you know, I shall do, I don't know, tutatenga, tutafanya, I don't know this word, tutata. You know, it's always in the future, you know, and he's not doing anything. So, like, Ruto is the president, yes, but does he know what he's supposed to do? Does he know, like, does he understand, like, his job description? Does he understand his responsibilities? Wacha hii ya kuandikiwa. Does he knows what it entails to be the president of Republic of Kenya? Does he knows the needs and the wants of the people of Kenya, the citizens? What is their pressing issue? What is the problem? How can he tackle those challenges? Lakini sasa mtu anaingia kazi yake ni kuiba pesa, kujitayarisha, just become rich. All these people who are rich in Kenya, you must have a connection in politics. Either you are an MP or a minister or something. Other than that, you cannot even survive. Those people ambaye ni wamesurvive tu, naona ni Wahindi tu. Hata sisi wa Somali lazima tuingie siasa ndio at least tukue umefika mahali. Lakini hii watu wa Kenya wengine tu, angalia the billionaires of Kenya. Hakuna mtu hajaingia siasa. 10 people, if you name 10 people, 8 were politicians. Give me 10 politicians from Kenya, 10, billionaires. I will give you 8 of them. They are either they serve as a member of parliament, and or either they were minister or something. So how are we gonna prosper? We don't have companies, we don't have industries, we don't have these people. They are not innovative, they are not creating jobs. We cannot just be borrowing money left, right, center, and then we expect our country to go to the next level when we are because our problem is this: we elect poor leadership, and these poor leaders they're gonna go loot from us. That's corruption. The other thing they know is for them to ascend into power, they have to breach tribalism. That's the only politics. Hakuna kitu kingine. Siasa ingine ya Kenya tu ni hiyo. Mtu kama Oscar Sudi sahi ile tu anafikiria ni kuiba tu kura, kupeleka vijana kwa msitu, kuwapatia tu pesa kidogo, awambie unajua nyinyi ni Wakalenjin, sasa sisi Wakikuyu ndio wanataka kukuchukua nini, sasa you need to defend this. I don't know. That is the whole narrative. Hakuna kitu kingine iko hapo. Unapeleka vijana Mungiki saa hii wanafanya nini? Imagine a whole president is using a cartel, an outlawed criminal gang. A sitting president is financing this thing. Nyinyi tu mnakuja tu mnaongea mambo hapo sijui ukabila. Hapana. You guys need to open your eyes. You need to see what is happening in this country. You need to understand, where is the rain beating us? Like shida hii inaanzia wapi? Where are we heading as a country? Is this the future for us and for our kids and grandchildren? Are we safe in this country? Are we prospering? How is the education system? How is our health system? Are we even morally upright people? Are we spiritually upright people? You need to ask yourself these critical questions. We can't just be having, we just had an election 2 years ago, and all we are talking about is 2027. It's crazy, my brother. You open a TV, it's politics in the morning. Because, in the morning, what do they discuss? Politics. 1 o'clock news is politics. 7 p.m. is politics. 9 p.m. is politics. After the news, they bring, I don't know, these people. You go to Twitter, politics. Hey, what is this? Where are we headed as a country, my friends? Let's be honest with each other. Can we really continue like this as a country? I don't know. Something has to change. We need to change. We need to stop. The way we are doing things, it's not working for us. It's not we need to stop. Hii lazima isimame. Because wezi weka watu tu, mtu hajielewi, mtu hajui kazi yake, mtu hata hajui Kiswahili, hajui Kiingereza, hajui ile kazi anapewa, unampatia tu kiti, jamaa tu kazi yake tu ni kukuibia tu. Hakuna kitu kingine.
The problem is that some people in government who feel like they own this country ndo wana insight wa Kenya. I'm telling you, hii nchi sahi, yani Kenyans are being incited every day.
Na watu nikuulize, Ruto anajua hii kazi anafanya kama president. Does he understand?
No. William Ruto anakaanga tu bado yule mwanasiasa alikuwa akifanya kampeni.
Sasa ni campaign ama ni kazi tunataka Dawat bro? Mambo Ruto mpaka saa hii, how are you gonna name your cabinet in 2025 January? You're sucking one person left, right, center. After 5 months, you're replacing with this. You're doing this. You are assigning someone to, I don't know, to ambassador in another country. Like this government is not, Dawat hii serikali ilikuwa inafaa, I don't know, this guy alikuwa ameapishwa as September or something 2022. By December, I received a call, I'm sorry. So by December, hii serikali ilikuwa inafaa ifanye kazi. By 2023, hii serikali tulikuwa tunafaa ijue mahali inaelekea. January of 2023, hii serikali ya Ruto tungejua mahali inaelekea. A complete government sitting. Lakini sasa serikali ya Kenya inakuanga tu na mambo mingi. Unatoka election, usujui watu wanaanza maandamano, nini, uchumi imeenda, yani alafu siasa. Hapana bro, something has to change. This is so tiring.
Good morning Bashir.
Hii sio hapana. Yes,
good
thank
morning,
you brother.
Good morning Dawak and the rest of the panelists.
Good morning Terry.
I think napenda Bashir vile anaongea, lakini anafika mahali I think hasira inafanya ajirudie, anaanza sasa kusema the wrong thing, because again it's not like Kenyans ndio wanakuwa na issues na campaign. It's all about our leaders. Once they understand they are not competent, that's when they turn into campaign mode. Because wakishajua hakuna kitu yote wamefanya, they just now turn into campaign machines. In short, wanasemanga wanatoka kwa ofisi wanaingia juu ya Prado. Sunroof zinafunguliwa, it's time for hizo tunazita campaigns. But again, we need to be a problem solving type of a society. And the moment tutaleta hiyo tutakuwa tumewapiga 10-0. Naona leo Dawaka amekuja na the best picture hapa, fagia wote during the swamp. Like our say wote tunaona pale, nobody is there for the common mwananchi.
Bari. Hii ndo movement yenye nataka kupush. Hakuna kitu ingine. By the way, mimi sitaki hata siasa. Mimi nishajua shida ya Kenya iko wapi. Na mimi popote naenda, hata nikisimama mahali, hata nguo nitatoa jazi zimekona picha ya watu nimeandikwa fagia wote. This is the message.
And I like that, because you see now, as ndio nilikuwa naenda hapo, and I like that Dawat, and keep that good work going. But collectively lazima tufanye siasa. Tukisema tutafagia wote na tukose kufanya siasa tutapotea. So we must add politics on top, so that at least watu waelewe kwa nini tunataka wafagiliwe wote. So as I continue with what I was saying, you look today, Uhuru Kenyatta is grooming Matiang'i, a butcher of his time. Onde aliua vijana wengi ile time yake kushinda any other person in that government. So again, tuna groom a butcher so that akuje akave Uhuru Kenyatta mwenye ametuibia pesa. Na kitu inatukula sana, as much as tutasema fagia wote, we need to understand one thing. Are we forgetting these guys to go continue eating our money somewhere na kiburi, and then they use the same money to mobilize and bring takataka of field yetu waendelee kutunyanyasa wakiwa protect? Now it's high time tuelewe kitu moja. We as Kenyans need to change tack. Hawa si wafai kwenda to home. They're supposed to be in jail. They're supposed to be prosecuted. They're supposed to pay each and every other coin washawaibia Mkenya. And on top of that, they face a jail term, because mwizi ni mwizi. Hakuna mwizi wa kuku, hakuna mwizi wa taxes. Mwizi ni mwizi. That's my opinion. On the contrary, tukiendelea mbele ni ati Kenya is a very good place. If only we can understand one thing. We need working people, not politicians, because shida ile tuko nao kubwa ni ati we have politicians. And as I normally say here, ni ati if you look at Raila Odinga, he earns more while he's out of office than when he's in office. Because today, look at what he planned for. Alikuwa na skuma devolution for him to devolve corruption. Today, each and every other governor elected anywhere in the name of ODM pays Raila Odinga. Anyone, and that's how unaangalia most of governors all over wenye wamevotiwa na hizo chama kubwa kubwa. So I'll give an example of Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka. You know, those are the people when you either in power or out of power, they still earn. They still earn a lot than when they are in power. And on top of that, hiyo pesa yao si accountable, because to date Raila Odinga is eating more of Nairobi County than even Sakaja. But simply because of what? Anajua vizuri the numbers when it comes to the county assembly of Nairobi, numbers zile kubwa ziko on his side. So we need to come back and look at our problem in a problem solving part of a mechanism. How can we solve this? It's high time tuanze sasa kupiga watu kulingana na makosa yenye walifanya. Uhuru Kenyatta today tunaona ameanza kuleta ngina pia karibu. The same thing that happened when Moi was going out of power. Walianza kuingiza Uhuru. Uhuru was a nobody before 2002. And then kidogo Uhuru akagurumiwa. After that Kibaki then Uhuru. Tukaleta mwizi after mwizi mwingine ametoka. So it's high time to realize kitu moja. History ya kuachilia ngawa sio wanaenda na pesa yetu. Wanaenda wanakaa nayo. Hiyo ndio pesa yenye wanatumia kukuja kutufanya the dirty thing they are doing to us. So it's us for us to reverse this thing. And to reverse this thing means ours wote they belong somewhere in community prison. Mali yao yote it belongs to the people of Kenya. Inafaa kuwa imerudishwa back to circulation ya government. And who will do this? I don't see none of them doing this. Because again, if you go to who our activists, who our aspirants, most of them are their cronies. Ni wasa wameplantiwa na wase, wamekwa hapo wakuje watu confuse, tuwapatie kura, waendelee kuwa protect. The same unaona Uhuru Kenyatta protected Mwai Kibaki. Mwai Kibaki protected Moi protected Kenyatta 1. And the sequence goes that way. So kila mtu anakuja anafunikia mtu mwingine. Anatumia that card ya vile yeye aliiba kukua atakuaga akimdominate each and every other time. So it's high time as a country, as a community, as a nation to stand strong na tuhakikishe kitu moja. This revolution imetoka mbali sana. We have been gaining a lot. We have been winning a lot because today William Ruto is invalid everywhere in the world. Haizi akakopeshwa hata ndururu na any country. Why? Because of the so-called wanatuita noise makers online. But that noise is making sense. To date inamchomea left, right, center. We are going the right way. And before I finish, because nikomalizia, we need to understand one thing. We need to start being civil disobedient. And being civil disobedient ndio itatusaidia because tumekam kunotice kitu moja. Simple things are making these people not to sleep. Angalia kuweko kwa sanduku because these people understands that occult is their way of living and doing things. Wakiweko kwa sanduku wanaanza kuteta, maisha yao inakuwa ngumu. We start now those civil disobedience. Tunawaweka kwa sanduku. Tunaamka asubuhi tu one day. We put them all in coffins in each and every other social media handle you have. Tuma wase kwa coffin because it's killing them. The occult thing in our maliza, it is destroying them. Because if you look at them, wakiabduct vijana wanafanya nini? They are doing some rituals to them. Wanawanyoa nywele, wanabaki nazo. Do you think it's just a simple thing? Life is spiritual and we must understand one thing. When you're fighting with people who believe in spirits, we are supposed to believe in good spirits. And civil disobedience is the way, because tutawanyima pesa kwa mfuko zao, tutawanyima amani, because at the end of the day, they like when they know they are controlling people. But the moment they don't understand what you guys are doing, it will be better, easier for us to win over them. So my message is, on 27th, next week Monday, do not take your kid to school, do not attend your place of work, tukaeni nyumbani like how they did us time ya COVID-19. Only that day, Monday 27th. Come February the first week, we will go Monday and Tuesday. The second week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The third week, twende hivyo mpaka tujaze wiki. Because at the end of the day, we have more power over them na tusidanganywe na mkati ya siku moja. Let's be wise and let's defeat this whole cocoons ya walevi, wachawi, waganga, wagoroki, wauaji, and we will win this thing bottom line. Na tuache kuweko kwa mix ya fulani akiguzwa mimi ndio naongea sana amtamguza sijui nini. Let's be a society that can criticize without fear. Mtu wacha awekwe hapo tumcriticize, kama ana feel haizi kukriticiziwa then go live a private life, but if you want to be in the public life lazima tukuchambue kila siku tukiamka. That's our business. Whatever you're doing is a policy that we believe in and lazima tuichambue, tuseme hapa you're taking us for a ride, hapa you're taking us the right way and we shall go somewhere. So please guys, let's be honest with each other. Civil disobedience is a thing that will help us. Vile Dawaka anasema that is civil disobedience. Tukianza kuvaa t-shirt ambazo zimeandikwa fagia wote, okay? Drain the swamp. Do not believe anyone mwenye anacheza na tribal cards. It's going to be a win for all of us. Another thing I'll say before niende mute ni ati all these killers, because kwangu wao wote ni wauaji, all these killers belong somewhere in jail, somewhere in Kamiti, somewhere in Kodiaga, somewhere in Shimolatewa. All these people are supposed to be jailed for them to understand one thing. Hakuna kama makosa kadogo na makosa kubwa. The law must take its course, and that is what will help us and make us the best out of the best. Na najua kitu moja, you guys, you don't understand what fight we are fighting. We are not only fighting Kasongo here in Kenya or William Ruto or the butcher of Sugoi. We are fighting Museveni. At the same time, we are fighting Suluhu, because all of them wanajua kitu moja. If we win this fight, if we dare put Kasongo down, they are going down, all of them. And East Africa will open up like Europe has opened up. Tutakuwa na shilingi moja yenye inatumika na maisha yetu itastabilize zaidi. Because today in Europe, people are using euro. People are integrating. People are making each other work better. Mse ana work in the Netherlands, Johnny analala Germany. Trains zina integrate because at the end of the day, they've come to understand one thing. Unity is what creates employment. Unity is what creates better life, because ukiangalia the 3 East African countries, iko na a lot of wealth that can generate a lot of jobs, can generate a lot of food for our consumption and even for export. The moment tutafanya hivyo tutakuwa tumewin. So let's know and let's sit knowing one thing. Umeona Mama Suluhu pande ile nyingine venye anafanya, amekalia watu na huko pia watu wenye wanasikiza bongo flavor na wakataza leo. Stop enabling those artists. Our artists ndio wanafanya mkae kwa pingu za umaskini, because at the end of the day today, look at the Zuchus, the Diamonds, the everybody wanaimbia Suluhu huku kwingine akiabduct na akijail people because of speaking their mind and how Tanzania is supposed to be governed. So guys, remember one thing. We need to do this thing and we need to do it now. Kama sio sasa ni sasa hivi. And anybody telling you about 2027, I told you again, realize that person is a project. Mtu wote mwenye ana fight for 2027 is a project. It's now, kama sio sasa ni sasa hivi. And we can win this thing. Because mahali tumetoka na mahali tumefika leo hii, we have collapsed this government 110%. So msemo wade anakwambia ati 2027, he's actually brainwashing you, trying kukuonesha hiyo nini yote tumevuta mpaka mahali tumefika, it should go to waste. We are not supposed to let that happen. We're supposed to take this trajectory in the right place. And again, before I finish, we should understand who are the right bloggers, who are the right influencers, because most of us nyuma blogging na influencing, but in reality, we are just cronies of Uhuru Kenyatta's, cronies of Raila Odinga, the likes of Gabriel Ugunda. Mumeona alikuwa anajificha kwa movement huku kidogo kidogo, tunakuja kurealize this guy is in government the same way ukiwa ndani wanaingia. To some of them even faking disappearances na hizo abduction, so that at least mfeel mko pamoja, but in reality they're just cronies for Uhuru Kenyatta, they're cronies for Gashagwa, they're cronies for Kalonzo, they're cronies for Mudavadi. It's high time to redefine that thing, and that's what tumesema, let's give room for critics. Let's criticize everything to understand people. Na ukiona mtu wote mwanakata kukriticiziwa, then understand one thing. He's just an oppressor, like William Ruto is an oppressor. It's only that here and I play on the blogging or kitu tunaita media advancement. So Dawak, ndakuomba vile umeandika fagia wote, please let's push for civil disobedience from January 27th ongoing. Tuhakikishe hizo maandamano zinaenda, tuache kupatia wasee room ya kuthrive. Those fake activists wenye wanakujanga wana neutralize everything and everything becomes them. Kila kitu ina change. Collins Wanjao, thanks a lot. Good morning to you. So hizo vitu zote tuanze kumark because the Okio Mtatas tumewajua, they are activists on payroll. The likes of Boniface Mwangi are activists on payroll. Hanifa are activists on payroll. And that's why they always derail the movement when it comes to maandamano on the ground. The likes of Morara Kebasos. Tutoeni hii kitu. Let me finish, please. Tutoeni hii kitu yote turudi. Nakupatia mic. Tutoeni hii kitu. Let me finish. Tutoeni kitu yote turudi ndani ya nyumba. The moment turudi ndani ya nyumba, hakuna mso wote atakula pesa yoyote ya kukuja kuharibu maandamano. Tutakuwa tukiandamana and it will be felt because NIS wanachukua data on a daily basis. NIS wako kwa mashule, NIS wako kwa stage za basi, NIS wako all over. They are planted. They are people like me and you, people like me and Dawak. Wengi wanakuwa NIS, wanakuja wanasikiza and they always table that thing on the president's table each morning. So kama tuta boycott kwenda shule, kama tuta boycott kwenda hustle zetu that particular Monday, we will make a very big impact toward civil disobedience. Na tukienda the second week of the first week of Feb, 22 days, it will make a more impact because they will always be giving data. Wanasema hii wiki watoto 500 hawakuingia shule. Hii wiki ingine watoto wakaongezeka wakaenda 10,000 hawakuingia shule. So it will always make an impact and we will push these buggers and they will go home. Thanks a lot and have a great morning.
Dawak.
Yes, sir.
Mimi nataka kusema hii kidogo before mtu mwingine aongee. You know, Barry, you know, you can't just be coming here and accusing everybody, yeah? Mimi mtu kama Boni, you know, I can't just be saying someone is a sellout without me having, a hard or accurate evidence, you know. It's not good to mimi mtu kama Boniface Mwangi, bro, tuseme tu ukweli. Whether he's on a payroll or he's a government agent ama nini, Boni ni mtu mimi sitaki kuongelea mambo na Hanifa na nani hata hao siwajui, lakini mtu kama Boniface, that guy has been consistent, you know, for a long time. Na mimi mimi niko na akili zangu na mimi ni mtu mzima. Mimi huwezi niambia mtu atakubali nini apigwe, you know. Huyo mtu ni mtu alikuwa amepigwa na serikali, mnasema. Ni mtu familia yake ilikuwa imevamiwa. So no amount of money hata upewe ngapi, you will not allow, like, you know, someone to come and beat you, bro. So vitu zingine Bari ukisemanga, bro, usiseme because watu wengine wamesema, you know, and you just want to ride on it, you know. And kuna kitu kingine pia tunawekeleanga watu. Mtu kama Kasmuel ni mtu tu alikuwa anaapia kwa TV. Kasmuel hajawahi jitokelezea akasema mimi nataka kuwa leader wa jinsia ama nini. So hii watu, yes, ameenda kwa ODM nini, yes. But kila mtu naona tu Mkenya, wewe uongelee tu nafsi yako. Sema mimi kama Mkenya, because hata huyo Kasmuel na Hanifa na nani na Kebaso, hata Kebaso by the way is not even a sellout. You know, it's just like some people that guy. You know, mimi sijaona kitu someone will start something and we'll ride on that thing. That is our problem, you know. Before some of them they may be nice, you know, some of them they may be, you know, government agents, whatever. But mimi yangu tu ni hii, mtu kama Babu has been consistent and I think he has been on the street for the last 10 years. Ni mtu hata yendo you know, alikuwa anajipaka damu na nini akienda nini akijifunga nyororo. So mtu kama hata ukiwa mtata kama hata sasa amekuwa mtu sell out ama nini, but that guy he has been fighting for the ordinary Kenyan. Hiyo ni mtu hata amepigwa. So let's just hata kama unapewa ni hustle na nini it's okay. Mimi hata as long as you oppose the government and you know you know enlightening and doing everything and you doing your activism, you know, hata even if you said wanatafuta pesa kwa America nini, because wao wanataka hii mtu apigwe na nini apigania Kenya na utaki kumpatia pesa. Si hata akipewa pesa na nini na hizi foreign government hata ni sawa. Me I don't have problem with that. as long as at least they're showing something, they are fighting for the people. Lakini Barry to
Then stop
ngoja
fighting
nimalize.
Raila.
Ngoja.
Raila is doing the same.
Ngoja kidogo bro. Mimi yangu tu ni tusikue, if we are
Amshi,
accusing
check your
people.
network. Check your network. Amshi. Wacha
Unamsikia dawa?
nikukaribishe sana. Check your network. Unapotea. Hata nataka kukaribisha
Okay,
sana.
morning Tawak, morning everyone. You know, I'm very surprised because unaona, I think we are beginning to lose tactic, manze. We are beginning to lose tactic because as you can see, Sahi, this is prime time for our live streams. This is when we talk about what is happening in Kenya. You know, kuenlighten watu na kuunda new tactics. But I think we are losing it. And I think we need to devise other tactics because as you can see what Ruto is doing right now, ni kama amedivide responsibilities. Umesikia, unaona sasa watu wenye wanaongea sana kuhusu mambo ya online ni the IT ministry plus the foreign ministry. Jua ile attack tulifanya ya Netherlands. Alafu kuna wale sasa wa propaganda akina Sudi, wale watu wa propaganda za tribalism. Alafu sasa kuna Ruto anaendelea kupush lies. Yeye hajaachilia lies, anadanganya kuhusu SHA, anadanganya kuhusu the new funding model. So yeye amejipea hiyo kazi. So wamegawanya, lakini sisi kuna vile bado our movement is declining. So we need to realize that because while we are attacking this side, wako hii side ingine. In as much as we are playing offense, we also need to play defense. Uliona alienda akauza Galana Kulalu over 100 billion shillings. Akauzia uko UAE and those other countries. And the best he could do ni kukuja with 150 million apeleke kama bonuses za miwa, za sukari uko Western Kenya. You are being given peanuts after selling a land worth 100 billion plus. Anakuja with a very small portion of it, less than even half a billion. Ndio anapelekea Waluya huko. And you know Luyas are the second largest tribe in Kenya. Anataka kuweka kwa mfuko. So as Barry was talking here kuhusu politics, in as much as we are talking about the economy, we are talking about other things that are ailing every Kenyan, including the payslip which has been attacked and mutilated, we also need to do politics, okay? Because 2027 will be here and we have to remove Ruto. I know wako na propaganda mingi, sijui za tribalism, Wakikuyu, wanataka sijui nini, they are half of them wako wa cabinet, a lot of propaganda. And let me tell you, maybe this propaganda will not get into your head, but it might get into someone's head. Unaona? So we need to be very, very careful. So I think we need to sell to people and deconstruct these propagandas. Let us tell the people that we need to deal with Ruto. Yes, kuna hiyo propaganda.
There is someone who is posing a question down here for you. Check
the
it.
documents are there. I urge you to go to on X. There's a guy called Kimuzi, although amekuwa akiblow hot and cold. Amesema ya kwamba akona hizo documents. He is just waiting for someone with credibility to come forward and atampe hizo documents, the sale of that land of Galana Kulalu. Please go and follow it on X. I'm sure you will get it somewhere. But back to my point. We need to deconstruct these propagandas. Let us tell them, wakisema Kikuyu.
Sam, are they listing it or they're selling it?
They are listing it for 99 years. There is no difference. Listing it for 99 years is as good as selling it. There is no difference.
Exactly.
Because
no, list is something
99
you can terminate. List some. List is something you can
No.
terminate. And if
we can terminate anything. We are Kenyans.
But no. That's what I'm saying. If you you sell someone to a land, and leasing is two different things. That's why I'm asked. Thank you. Go ahead.
What's the difference, Abshi?
Sam, before you continue, please let me interject. The problem is not there. Here is the problem, and people are not understanding this. This was the out of the carbon credits agreement between the UAE and Kenya. At first, we were not told of the amount of money that Ruto received from that deal. Second, if it was kama ilikuwa carbon, tumejua the amount was 150 billion. Why do we need to compensate the United Arab Emirates? Yet, in that system ya carbon credits inasema hivi, if they are compensating us for the amount that we've not used up in pollution, in matters pollution, kwa sababu mi ninaelewa hiyo story ya carbon credits. In matters pollution, let's say tume pollute 60%, hatujafikisha the 100%. If they are compensating us for the 40% to meet up the 100% threshold, kwa nini bado wanahitaji kupatiwa shamba yetu ya Galana Gulalo? That is where the scheme is. That is where we are losing our land as Kenyans.
Exactly.
That is the point.
Collins, I invite you to go and check Maverick Aoko's account. There's a story he posted about what is going on between Kenya and UAE. Galana Kulalu land is not being leased because of carbon credits or anything. They are smuggling in arms and warheads through that land. You can go and check it out. As we are speaking right now, UAE is losing on tourism.
Sam, do you believe a lot of things Maverick Aoko tweets? Because a lot of it is a bullshit. Maverick is someone who said, wait.
Bado uko na shida ya
uko na shida because bro, Maverick Aoko is the son. No, wait. Maverick Aoko is someone who said that. Wait. It's someone who said that Soipan Tuya is she's a pregnant. How many months is it now? Some of the things, Sam. The problem is we shouldn't just
agree. A lot of
propaganda.
things she says is propaganda,
yes.
But then there are things that she says, and you have to read between the lines.
I don't want propaganda. Yes. That's my thing. We need to be feeding people accurate information.
Wacha nikwambie hiyo class ya Oko
propaganda. Because at the end of the day,
you don't have to pick
Raila Odinga ni mkora kama vile Boniface ni mkora. So wakati tunapiga Raila Odinga, tupige pia Boni. Tuache kuweka double standards. Because Raila Odinga is a thief. Amekuwa akienda maandamano ndio apatiwe handshake. Why are you afraid wakati tunapiga Boni? Because we have come to understand one thing.
Bro,
tell us what Boni does in this country. Mpaka anapeleka watoto
tulikuwa
members.
Tulikuwa members.
There's a difference. Raila is a politician. Of a political party. People.
Boni was a politician too.
Wait. But he doesn't have a political party. You cannot. The stature that Raila has, the command that Raila has, this guy doesn't have. So there's a whole
Boni has
big
the
difference.
same when it comes to the streets.
My brother, don't just.
Why you double speaking?
My brother.
Bashir, why you double speaking?
Just
because
having
at the end
this
of the day,
narrative,
he commands the political
the
world.
thing is like,
Boni
you guys
commands
create
the
a narrative
world.
and it's a propaganda. You just want us to ride on that. I just want us to be factual. That's all. And I'm anti-government, by the way. And I want Ruto to go.
It's not factual to you. It's not factual.
And I want Ruto
not factual
to go.
does not mean it's about everyone.
Just
factual means
not
there
go
is
without
something
being
we are trying to
tactical. You have
say.
to be tactical, Abshir. You have to be very tactical.
If I may say something, guys, I've been listening and I've been thinking that most of the time, everything that we are saying here, there's an element of truth, and basically we need to be able to get to know exactly what is it we want. Now, the thing I wanted to say is this: the reason why propaganda is effective, it is because it's normally truth mixed with error. Sio uongo mtupu. Mtu akishajulikana ya kwamba yeye ni muongo, kuna mtu atamsikiza. But they always give a little bit of truth so that they can now point to that truth and tell you, see, I told you that thing. That is why what I'm telling you now, you believe it, even though now it is being wrong. And one other thing I am agreeing with Abshir on Maverick Aoko's account, This is now the fourth person that I'm hearing is referring us to Maverick Aoko's account. Now, I'm wondering whether she has suddenly become the person who has all the secrets of this country in her hands and she can release them as easily as she wants. That is one thing that you need to ask yourself. Even mainstream media find it very difficult to get governments that they can really do that. So when somebody, it's very easy for that person to talk, and any subject that is of interest to people, they talk about it. If it is sex, if it is kitu chochote ambacho anajaribu kusema is something that is supposed to cause Kenyans to have an argument or a debate. That is one of the biggest problems I have with Maverick Aoko's account. Whether she is now a propagandist or not can only be answered by people who know the 9 points that actually revolve around propaganda. You remember the person who's the most effective historically on propaganda was the minister for propaganda in Hitler's time, alikuwa anaitwa Joseph Goebbels. And he put a 9 point. Sorry?
I just mentioned
Joseph. Yeah, Joseph Goebbels. So he had a 9-point agenda, and I think in the next year I'll come, because I think I wrote them down somewhere. If you can be able to, whatever somebody says, you can take it through that 9-point thing, and then find out at the end of the day that it is clean, then you can be able to know this is true. But one of the biggest things about disinformation and misinformation, that is basically propaganda, is they mix truth with error. Kuna vitu watasema ya kwamba na ukiangalia yenyewe ni kweli, lakini the most effective one, sasa ile nakuambia yenye sasa inafaa unaenda ku make a decision on, ni ile ya uongo. So I think that is what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, hii land ya Galana Kulalu, it's a project that was already funded and it was ongoing. So I wonder where sasa Ruto ameamua, alikaa chini akaona he can do something else apart from what was already planned for that land. Na si ati ni land yake, it's a public land. So whoever is against whatever it is that, that account posted, and na si ati nasema the lady is clean and you should listen to everything that she says, then you should come forward with your own explanation as to what is happening between UAE and Kenya. And this is all connected. Somalia, UAE, Kenya, everything is connected. And before you ukuje kukashfu na kusema it is not true, please go and read that post. Please go and read it. So that at least when you come here, we can have a discussion. We can debunk what is not true, and you can uphold what is true. We can reconstruct the whole story and come up with something clean.
Sam,
okay.
Where is the 14 billion that the Uhuru and Ruto government pumped there when
exactly.
What is it called? There's this agriculture Kelenjin guy. Actually, Uhuru fired that guy and brought Eugene Wamalwa. Even Eugene Wamalwa and Ruto were not seeing eye to eye. The reason why even Eugene Wamalwa became the irrigation and water minister was because of that 14 billion. And nobody's even talking about that. Ruto alikula 14 billion. That one, yeah. I have evidence. So we need to talk about that. Where did that go? Where is that 14 billion? Why did that project stall? What happened? If you're not asking these questions, that's how we're jumping. We're talking about now. I have no problem, people giving us this information. Yes, I understand. But, our problem as Kenyans is this, Sam, that money that has been stolen, okay, on the same project, and nobody's even asking. We already forget that one. And it was just a few years ago. You see? We need to ask, where is that 14 billion you promised Ruto when you were deputy president? It was first time. Actually, I think I can double check for you. The first time of Uhuru Ruto government.
Is it the same time when they tried to contract the Israeli guy? I think it is the same time.
Just look at the Gulana Galalu irrigation scheme scandal. You will see it. Let me
bado kuna hiyo bado kuna hiyo story ya the Israeli guy who came in and the government pumped money. I think it's that time. It's another story.
So you see now that is another story. Now it's becoming another story. It's another scandal. Hii ni kama umecreate kukulia tu pesa. And now unasikia Ruto is leasing for, I don't know, 106 billion. And then the same thing. There's 196 billion Kentraco. The guys from Adani, they took. Nobody's talking about this thing, Sam. There is audible oil. I don't know, wakina Moses Kuria wamekula. Nobody's asking this question. Kuna hii tender ya nini tena ya Shiv Shah. It's another scandal. Like, nobody's talking about this thing. These people, they're stealing billions. You know, and we're just here talking about
the Shah thing imeongelewa because again Amenya alitoka nayo, and actually Jeani sahi anamlipa because he filed a suit in France akisukuma Amenya akatoka na ukweli ikakuja ikajulikana. So the Shah thing is being talked about, and again we cannot be talking about every other thing. Sometimes tunaiwekaga yote towards the one who is supposed to be bearing the whole mzigo, the whole burden. This is William Ruto's government. It's not Moses Kuria's government. It is not Kabogo's government. It is William Ruto's government. So we must be collective. Wakati tunasema hatuongelei, tutakuwa tunadanganya, because at the end of the day, tunaongelea hizi vitu on a daily basis. It's only that, again, as I said here, tunafaa kutoa hiyo mentality ya mtu wangu akiguzwa ama mtu mwenye mimi naamini is clean akiguzwa, I go bonka. I should listen, because at the end of the day, until huo mtu awekwe in public scrutiny, hakuna mtu mwenye anamjua. Nobody knows Morara Kebaso, tumemjua jana juzi. Nobody knows Okiya Mtata, tumemjua jana juzi. Tumemjua tu akiwa activist. And another thing you should understand, our mainstream media has always been gagged. Haisemangi vitu vile zinafaa. They are paid to not publish some things. And that's when a story will come out today, a very big story, and after a week or two, they won't follow it up. They'll just go silent on it and just go chini kabisa. The only thing that has come to help Kenya for now is X, to be specific, because even here, Dawaki is a witness. Akaunti yake si mara moja imepotezwa, because people are trying to censor when you're talking the truth. But when it comes to X, at least Elon Musk alipoichukua from Twitter, and ndio maana mpaka aligeuza jina to X, because information in the world is supposed to flow. Nobody is supposed to be killed because they are talking. Remember even the COVID vaccine jabs. Watu waliziongelea hapa in Kenya wakasema si poa. You remember that doctor who was killed somewhere in the United States? Alikuwa na insist, anasema this thing is not clean. They are feeding us poison. But what happened? People started propagandas kama zenye Abshira konayo hapa, zile za kama hijatoka kwa source ya government, it doesn't sound correct, you know. Kama Boni hajawahi ambiwa ni mwizi na government, it's not correct. That's not how it works. How did you end up knowing that Raila Odinga is not a person of help towards the Kenyan population? Yes, kila mtu amekuwa akisemaga he's the father of freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of and alileta devolution. But at the end of the day, does it make you now, because ulileta A, B, C that was good, na D ikakuwa mbaya, sasa tunyamaze because ulileta A, B, C? The D tusiongele na tusikuite mbaya. And this is what I normally give as an example. If I'm a good citizen in this country, the day nitafanya offense, my goodness ends there. And that's where nashikwa, I'm arrested, napelekwa kotini, na prosecutiwa, nikipatikana na makosa, if I'm guilty as charged, then nafungwa jela. Hawatakaa chini waanze kuangalia, hapana, Bari alikuwa anaendanga kwa dark media na bonga a lot of sense, hapana, Bari hata akona watoto wanapelekanga shule na walipiaga school fees religiously. Nobody will look at that. People will look at me as a criminal the moment my criminal life starts. You understand? And this is what I have an issue with people like that guy mwenye ameshuka. They always have an issue when we speak about people who are public figures. If you become a public figure, be ready to be scrutinized. And that's why I normally say it will be double standards. Tukiongea Uhuru Kenyatta tuseme amekula 9 trillions, lakini ikifika ya Boni anafaa kukula. Unajua atasomeshaje watoto? Na si amekuwa akisimama na inchi. Okay, umekuwa ukisimama na inchi for 20 years. Now you come and bullshit us. No, let me finish, Sam. I know what I'm saying, because mi narudishia mwenye alikuwa hapo juu, and I want people to understand where I come from. I don't talk from propaganda part of it. The moment nataja Morara Kebaso, the moment nataja Hanifa, the moment nataja Boniface Mwangi, the moment nataja the likes of Mtata, we've come to realize one thing. They are activists on payroll. They don't do this thing because
attacking those ones. I thought it is an attack to Ruto, not those ones.
tuelewane, but he's using the same people. Kama tunaelewana Sam, it's not an attack to only to them, it's an attack towards Ruto, because we need to know how these guys are working. How are they ending up on neutralizing what our gains are all about? Because at the end of the day, we can't trust someone like Okiya Omtata. Let me finish, Sam. Let me finish. Unajua shida ni moja, you cannot cut me short. No, I don't want you to make me understand. I just want you to understand me first, and then at the end of the day, wewe utarudisha yako. Let me just run to what I
more than once. We've already had you.
Sikwambi wewe, I'm trying to tell the other guy. If you have heard me, I'm just trying to give the message to the other guy. So please do not watch
Barry. Now that you have given us that information about these guys who have been on the forefront and somehow you feel they have been tainted. Does that mean that I need to be listening more to you and those who you can now tell me could be the clean ones?
No, I'm not saying who is clean. What I'm trying to say here, my brother Eric, it's not like, let me finish. Umeniuliza swali, si let me finish. Nimekusikiza ukiuliza swali. The biggest problem I have with this banter is you always want to talk. Everyone. No problem. At the end of the day, we must have people like Gaitho. We must have people like Omtata. We must have people, but we need to understand the people who are making gains in this movement. People who are making us lose the momentum in this movement. We must call them out. And that's my point. Thank you.
And my question is, who do you point us to now? Now that you have given us the information and we have to be careful about these guys who seem to be on somebody's payroll. And
who should we follow now?
So who should we go after?
It's not all about following. It's Skiza. It's not all about following. It's now changing tactics. Let me finish. You are asking me a question and you want to answer yourself.
Wacha nikuwe specific kwa swali yangu. Kwa swali langu. Unajua, when this thing started, when the momentum started growing, walikuwa nasema the pressure is increasing. These are the people who have been on the forefront. They are the people who we have seen on the streets. They are the people who have been engaging. Now you have come with information on this forum where you have basically said somehow they are not who we think they are. So as I leave this forum today, I will be going home with doubts regarding Hanifa, doubts regarding Omtata, doubts regarding Boniface Mwangi, doubts regarding all those guys you have mentioned. Now, where will that take me? I start asking, so Barry said this, if at all Barry is right in all this, now who do I listen to? Can I even listen to Dawak now? I mean, next time somebody might come here and say, Dawak, Dawak is on a payroll. And then now I have a problem with the Dawak. Exactly. The basic thing you're doing is you are actually the one killing the momentum.
Yeah, he's the one killing the momentum. And
ask the question or you concluding onto the question.
Barry, it's a conclusion. It's not
because nimesikia kama alikuwa anauliza swali, so if he's concluding there, I don't need to answer because nimesikia akisema let me ask a question correct, right. So if it's a question, I'll give you an answer. If it's not a question, then it's a conclusion, and I'll have to shut up because I've already concluded.
Because this is the narrative that started with Gaitho.
I'm not talking here as Gaitho. I'm talking here as Barry Black. Okay, so don't refer me to Gaitho. The only thing I'm trying to say in this movement, we need to give critics away pia waongee, because if we don't do that, tutakuwa tunafanya the same thing William Ruto is doing today. Anyone who criticizes him is supposed to be.
What evidence do you have against those people?
Supposed to be killed.
Hata tusiende sana kwa evidence or whatever. There is something you said I wanted to quote. Ulisema however much offensive we are, tusisahau our defense line. I think that is the point you are losing. We forgot our defense line. Sisi tuna push mbele, lakini tunasahau tunagawanyika huko nyuma. So in a nutshell, we are in the movement together. As long as our cause has one aim, I think we should go with it. Whoever benefits, whoever doesn't, I don't care for now. As long as I see Kasongo is out and Mbonawewo is not elected again. So That is our main cause. Hiyo ingine kama Omtata ameishi kukula pesa sijui kutoka kwa dona kwa sababu yeye amepiga nini. Now I don't care. I really need to see Kasongo out. That is my main aim.
Yes, and if anyone who is beating Kasongo, they say the enemy of your enemy is your friend. Let us work together and remove Kasongo from the office. Anyone who is fighting something else apart from Kaongo, that's a diversion. That's huyo ni mtu ambaye anataka kutupoteza na anataka kumaliza.
It might be true, but as long as we are in the cause, one cause, I think let's stick to the cause first. Kwa sababu tunaharibu defense line, tunapata weakness huko nyuma. Tunakuwa infiltrated and they are gaining it. So however much hata Moses Kibe ukiniambia it's reckless talk, it's the truth. However much we would like niambia it's reckless talk, it's the truth. However much we would like to have that offensive tactic.
There's something Barry said that I agreed with. He said that, you see, in every corner of this country, insofar as this political somewhere taking note and these things actually find their way to a place where they are going to be looked, a strategy will be developed to kill it out. So in that sense, that is basically now essentially what I'm trying to say. It's like we are bringing a knife to a gunfight. We are dealing with a behemoth who has every weapon in his store that he can use at any time, at any place, anyhow, because we have given them the mandate. Now, that which is ours as the populace of Kenya is the mandate is what we can take from them to disarm them. Because once we have taken that mandate from them, they no longer have the power to do these things that we are claiming they're doing to us. So where does that leave us? It leaves us to a place where, as Kenyans, we start cutting out a lot of, because there's a lot of information. And one of the things that actually sometimes defeats a purpose is when there is too much information and we do not know how to use it. So if we have correctly surmised that the manner in which our country is being run, that's not the mandate we gave the people who are in charge. What needs to happen is we take that mandate from them. Now, the good thing is the country is under a constitution, and the constitution tells us how exactly we can be able to take this mandate. And this is now where I part ways with Barry. When he claims that Okiya Omtata is on somebody's payroll, he will need to give me evidence of that. But the person who has always wanted to take away this mandate from these people of authority, even without asking for money from Kenyans, is this gentleman called Okiya Omtata. How did Okiya Omtata come to Kenya? And I understand he was not even a lawyer, by the way. Saizi ndio nasikia anasomea law ndio apate hiyo degree yake so that he can even fight more. So if there is anybody problem with, is Okiya. One thing I can also not confidently say is that he cannot be reached, because he is the potent weapon that can be used by Kenyans if they rally around him to remove the mandate from the people who are in the authority now. So trust you me, once the people you are fighting against realize that this is the person you're going to oscillate, they will lose every way, every means to try and bring this people down, including saying he is on a payroll, so that people start saying that is not even the person who we can rely on. Now, who are we going to rely on? At the end of the day, when you ask that question, you are again told, I cannot tell you now who to rely on. I mean, what message are you trying to send me? That is now where I'm parting ways with Barry. So what I'm going to say is this, as I have explained, we are the people who gave these guys the mandate to lead this country. 7.1 million Kenyans voted to these people. They could be remaining about 3 million who are still supporting them, but most people have left. This is the constitutional way of trying to remove the mandate. Somebody who has shown us the way consistently using the third arm of government, which is the judiciary, is who? Is Okiya Omtata. He has been trying to remove this mandate legally. The only thing we have not been able to do to him is to give him that critical mass of support that can now take us forward so much so that we can take our country to a new place. So this is what I'm going to say. As somebody has correctly surmised there, the enemy of your enemy is my friend. If at all the same person is the one we are fighting, even if I'm coming from a payroll, but that payroll, I'm using it to fight that person, because kuna wakati pia tunaambiwa, just take the money from the politician, but don't vote for him. Vote for the right person. So these are now the strategies that we are supposed to be putting to Kenyans' minds. That yes, this country is ours. We cannot take this country to the dogs in trying to fight for it. There's a mandated way in which we can be able to do it, and we can do it. All we need is numbers, critical mass, and we'll be able to do it. Thank you.
Nakubaliana na Otieno 110%, but the only problem I have with Otieno is you must know where your weakness is and where your strength is at. So the only thing let me finish.
Wacha nipatie mtu mwingine nafasi. Gone is gone.
Sijaona mtu wote alikuwa na mic, but it's okay.
Nimeona kama amenyamaza, nilikuwa nimeanguka hata sijui. You can take still take over Barry. Nilikuwa nimeanguka. Sijajua. But if he is still around, anaweza tuambia kitu ama endelea.
Okay, nilikuwa nikisema mahali penye najaribu kukatana na Otieno. I'm agreeing everything Otieno anasema. The only thing I have a problem with Otieno is lazima tukue tukijua weaknesses and our strong part of everything in the movement. So Kenya hiko ni ati Okiya Omtata amekuwa akipigana all along akigain money from it. So we are changing tack. Na hatuwezi tukakaa hapa tudanganyane the whole day ati kwamba the movement is not making progression. Tumetoka mbali, tumeenda mbali, because to date, even today as we speak, the only people who can give William Ruto money are people who are corrupt, because we know the Middle East is hiyo kwanza tukienda hapo Emirates, they are not so good when it comes to governance na kila kitu. Wako tu kama Kasongo in a way, because they censor their people, they do every other thing, but people with real democracy in the world wameondokea Kasongo simply because of what? The noise that we make online, whether it's on X, whether it's here on TikTok and other platforms. So already tusha make your milestone. The only thing that we are worried about the milestone is that the moment tumepiga hizo milestone hapo mbele 20-50 steps, kuna mse anataka kuturudisha nyuma 5 more steps, and the only thing we want to do is to gain more, not to lose any steps that we have made front. So that's where we are calling out such people, because at the end of the day tumekam kunotice kitu moja, the way they do their things when it comes to maandamano on the field is what is making us question every other credibility of them helping us and to making that milestone that we are planning to do. And that's why nimesema hapa nikimaliza, as much as mlisikiza the only content hapa mbele, nikimaliza, let's do what you call civil disobedience, so that hakutakuwa na mse wote mwenye atagain by being arrested ama by taking all media coverage ikuage endi anafuatwa na media like the way Samuel was doing another through just being followed by the mainstream media, which we know mainstream media is under whose pocket? The highest bidder. Who is who? William Ruto. So with that said, ni ati tuna move progress poa. So the only thing is for us to change tactics. And that's why tumesema we need each and every other weapon in this movement. But kuna mahali ikifika, we do no longer need that weapon because it will end up distracting us. So tunaiacha nyuma, and the next move is let's boycott going to work. Come a day like that Monday of 27, tukae nyumbani, watoto wetu tusipeleke shule. We start by doing civil disobedience. The only thing I'm trying to do here is complain and give a solution towards a problem that we have. Thank you.
My take today as I leave, kwa sababu naona hakuna mtu anaongea. There is that gentleman called Jenga who was here, and ni mzee, he's a mzee, and he was very bitter with whatever is happening. Na my take today is this: tusisahau tunaondoa Kasongo, tumepata mwingine anaitwa Mbonaweo as our leader. So as we go on with this fight, let's also yani tujaribu kuangalia after what we really want in these leaders by hata venye tulisema hata ukiweka hata ni chura ama ni punda pale ataongoza kwa sababu we have tightened that system or system of governance to work for us, so these leaders fall into place. Hawaendi tu kupata a loophole ya kufanya mambo, because the problem with us Kenyans, especially in matters adopt, what do we call it? Let's say, let me give an example of the CBC. We adopted CBC too fast without clear systems or infrastructure. So now we are complaining that it's not working for us. Devolution the same. We adopted it very fast, but it had very many loopholes, to which today bado zinatubite. Thank you very much. God bless you. I yield the mic.